Welcome to the latest episode of Andre the Man Show. I'm Andre Morton, and Andre the Man Show is exclusively on the ATP network. This is supposed to be a live stream show. This and the Tonight Show with Andre, but I had to change my profile picture on Twitter again, so StreamYard won't let me live stream to Twitter until I get my blue check back. So that's that. And also too, shameless plugs, chill time and tea time um will be available next week. New episodes. Dreamer supposed to come on tea time and chill time. Various topics. So be sure to look out for those. So how everybody is doing this morning? I'm recording this at night, but you'll see it in the morning. So yeah, you know, I don't want to do this, but I'm so sick and tired of evil, toxic motherfuckers. You meet them, you think you and them agree on stuff. We do. We cool. We discover something about each other that we didn't know until later on. In the friendship or whatever. And then all of a sudden, they start doing this dramatic, petty child bullshit. Like, I already, most of y'all probably know, I'm in a bad headspace right now. It's hard to talk about with people because people really don't understand me like that. So talking about it ain't gonna fix things none. I tend to just cope with it. I tend to use video games as a distraction, or this live streaming as a distraction, or make crazy ass Twitter videos as a distraction. But put up with other people's childish drama. And we all supposed to be grown ass adults here. Like, I'm not being ageist. I don't know who the fuck say ageism. I don't know what is ageism. Like, when it comes to having fucking common sense, ageism shouldn't even be a factor. Like, we ain't little children. We are grown ass adults. Like, you just can't privately DM me and talk to me about what's going on with you and me. And then the best thing about it is this particular it don't matter who it is at this point because I'm at peace with man, as they say. Shout out to the Joan girls. I'm at peace. They say at peace with woman. I'm at peace with man, right? So could have came to me and DM me say, "Hey, why you ghosting me or something like that?" But they don't even do that. They just DM you random shit. Why you angry at me and I'm done with you? Like, that's just fucking mental, man. That is some mental ass shit. And I ain't got time. That's toxic energy. That's toxic fucking energy. Like, come to me as an adult. Call me, person got my number, right? Text me. I prefer texting over calling because I'm an introvert. And talk to me. It would be cool. But no, you want to play these fucking games and stuff and stuff. And I ain't got motherfucking time for the bullshit. I don't. I'm just telling you how I feel. I'm telling it to the whole audience here. Cause I just can't hold it in no more. Um, Hopefully this video will give me a sense of closure because I try to be a good dude. I mean, the CEO of the ATP network, I set up fundraiser for her because she's working class, she pay her bills and she had no money left, and her kids need school clothes. So I fundraised so far $205, which is a miracle because again about that, people talk shit on mutual aid like everybody's a scam artist. So but I got $205, so somebody must believe in mutual aid. I'm just saying. And I have mutual aid giveaways. I give people $30, who needs it. No, $30 ain't no money, but these days, but it could fill your car up, or it could, buy you something to eat at a restaurant. You could do the little things for $30. I try to shout out people's mutual aid video. I make mutual aid video for Palestinians and I donate to them. Like, I do a lot of. I try to be a good, decent human being, but what do I get in return? A bunch of fucking drama and bullshit. And I just can't take it anymore. I made little like videos on Twitter about it, but I had to do it this way because this just had to be said. Um, I'm pretty sure some of you guys go through the same shit with toxic people in your life. Just my homework is, the CEOs recommend us on the network give y'all homework. My homework for you guys tonight or today is find out who's toxic and cut the motherfuckers off before they give your brain heart attack. A heart attack. Holy shit. Cause they just a waste of fucking time. Like I ain't got time for them no more. They like shout out to Sabby Sab. She always say this. They showed they ass. So that's all I gotta say about that. So um, the toxic people, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya, motherfucker. Okay, guys. So what I got here is a video from Second Thought. It says why the Democrats never get anything done. I just now discovered this. It came out a day ago, and so shout out to Second Thought, man. I discovered them through Sabby Sab. She played videos from them. I think she interviewed the guy that behind Second Thought too, which is cool. So yeah, I'm finna play this video, guys, and I'm finna pause it and give my thoughts in between. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I'll probably play like 7 8 minutes of it. If you wanna watch the rest of it yourself, it's called go the Second Thought. Search Second Thought on YouTube, and it should be the first video that pops up on the for you tab. So here we go.
100% viewer-funded operation. If you'd like to help support the channel and get some great perks while you're at it, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/secondthought. Hey, isn't it weird how every time Congress is about to pass some decently progressive bill, there's always one or two Democrats suddenly ready to come out of the shadows and tip the scales against it? It's not a coincidence.
Yeah, they called damn, what's they call that person? Like Christian Cinema and Joe Manchin. The villain, some kind of villain. Fuck, my brain ain't working today. Excuse me, guys.
And as much as Biden complains about it, he actually prefers it that way. "2024 is an election year, and unfortunately for Biden, his approval rating is in the toilet. I won't go through his whole track record, but just to refresh your memory, Biden promised a $15 minimum wage. Didn't deliver. He promised to enshrine the federal right to abortion. Didn't do that either. He promised to cancel about $10,000 of student debt per person, and ultimately came in way under that number. And then, of course, you have the recent stuff with the southern border, where Biden's being far more xenophobic and draconian than most Republicans, even after calling Trump out for the same thing and promising to put a stop to the border wall, which he also didn't do. You get the picture, but politicians never keep their promises, so no one's really surprised. Even now, as we're hearing the Biden campaign make basically the same promises because, trust me, this time is going to be totally different. They just needed more time. Now that he's on the campaign trail, Biden is mostly pinning the blame for this sort of stuff on Republicans. It's time to rally every last Democratic voter behind him, and with a solidly Republican House and a sort of blue Senate at the moment, the reason things like that border bill didn't get through was because it was blocked by a strong Republican opposition. So it makes sense that Biden is really keen on making them look like obstructionists. But that really doesn't explain all the
Craziest thing about that is Biden is a Republican with a blue tie on. That's the only difference. Like just a blue tie. He's a Republican. Like Biden don't want this stuff. He just says it to fool the masses.
broken promises. For about 2 years, Biden and the Democrats had all the power you can get in American politics. The presidency, the Senate, and the House. Everything swung blue in 2021. People elected Biden on a pretty tame set of progressive promises, ostensibly gave him and the Dems all the...
The crazy thing is, Biden was supposed to destroy Trump in an election and barely beat him. Like, if that don't show you something, then I don't know what else does.
levers of power to make them happen and a good chunk of time to deliver, And instead, we got years of disappointment, watered-down proposals, and a we believe in climate change Democratic Party that's somehow still churning out alarming numbers of new fossil fuel permits. And to explain
The Willow Project.
all that, we heard a very familiar excuse. Back in 2021, for example, Biden said this.
I hear all the folks on TV saying, why doesn't Biden get this done? Well, because Biden only has a majority of effectively 4 votes in the House and a tie in the Senate, with 2 members of the Senate who vote more with my Republican friends. But we're not giving up.
It's nothing we haven't heard before. When progressive bills die in the Senate, the story is always more or less the same. Liberal outlets and Twitter accounts start blasting whoever it was that flipped the last vote, whether that's a mansion or a cinema. Biden...
The rotating villain. See, my brain start working. They call these people the rotating villain on your screen right here. Christian Cinema, which now is an independent, I guess. Oh, hell, is she still in there? I guess she is. And Joe Manchin, who's supposed to have run as a independent candidate for some other party, but I guess that fell to the wayside.
Biden delivers a passionate, somebody really should do something about this, not me, speech. And that's either the last you ever hear about it, or 10 months later the bill has a new name, $10 billion in extra defense spending tacked on, and hardly anything left from the original. This sort of thing has been happening for a long time, and it's not without consequence. If you've been following politics for a bit longer, you might remember guys like Joe Lieberman, who, like Manchin today, sort of made being the Democratic Party's rotating villain his whole personality. He's dead now. If you don't remember him, Lieberman...
Joe Lieberman. The guy that Obama blamed for not codifying Roe v. Wade and other things that, even though they had a fucking supermajority under Obama's first term. Boy, I remember these days.
Lieberman was famous for a few things. Being aggressively pro-Iraq war until the day he died, and back in 2009, rejecting Obama's plan to include a public option in Obamacare. The public option would have been a federal health insurance system that could compete against private insurance and drive prices down. In very simple terms, it would have made healthcare cheaper and made private insurers lose money. It's not quite abolishing private insurance the way Bernie's Medicare for All plan would have, but still, it was something. Anyway, in 2009, the Democrats had the votes in the Senate to pass the ACA with a public option provision included. Most Democratic voters and most Americans were in favor. And suddenly, right before the vote, in comes Lieberman, vocally opposing the public option, threatening a filibuster. And because he was the deciding vote, ultimately forcing the ACA to be drafted without it. The public realized what was going on, that...
Lieberman, the rotating villain. He's a rotating villain for Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. Yeah, it's always one, ain't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's always fucking one, you know. That's by design, by the way, guys. It's by design.
Even if Lieberman could block a vote by being a dissident and preventing the Democrats from having the 60 votes they needed, like the Republicans under Bush, the Democrats could use reconciliation to pass the ACA with a public option with only 50 votes. Then, once again, out of the woodwork comes Jay Rockefeller, another Democrat-aligned senator suddenly reversing months of his own pro-public option rhetoric and refusing to vote for it because, well, the timing isn't very good. Why wasn't the timing very good? Well, because the timing allowed...
Because the Democrats don't want to pass it. That's why the timing isn't very good. You know, when it comes to the poor man, yeah, let's wait on it. You know, it ain't the right time. It's never the right time. It's never the right time. But, you know, when it comes to funding Israel and Ukraine, you know, oh, they get that shit through the shit. Boy, they get that shit through the fucking cracks so quick.
The Democrats to actually exercise power in a way that would have benefited their constituents. Typically, that's good. But for the Democrats, these are very bad circumstances because they forced them to either find people willing to go back on their word or actually follow through on their promise. So, why does this happen? Why do we always seem to have these obstructionists within the country's major left party blocking even mild center-left
I like you said left. Yeah, Democrats aren't left.
policies? On some level, there's an obvious answer.
Center right.
And like in most American politics, that answer is lobbying. Take Lieberman. Over his career, insurance companies had contributed nearly $500,000 to his campaigns. Pharmaceutical companies almost certainly played a role too, with Lieberman's wife having several jobs in lobbying firms known for being cozy with Big Pharma, and that would have benefited from Lieberman's obstruction. The same goes, obviously, for guys like Joe Manchin, who's well known for being staunchly pro-fossil fuels and killing every bill that would lessen the US's reliance on them. Between 2017 and 2022, he was
Again, some of you guys that are probably new to politics, this is the way things work. This is why the Democrats never get anything done, because they listen to their donors. Like they listen to their donors. They don't listen to you. They want you to go and vote and shut up. They don't want you to say nothing. Why they, have fundraisers with their donors, and shit. Yeah, the whole nine.
Was the #1 recipient of oil and gas and auto industry money to the tune of several $million. And you can say the same about centrist Democrats in the House. Earlier this year, 8 House Democrats asked Biden to lift a pause on liquefied natural gas export permit approvals. According to Jacobin, 4 of them received more than $1.6 million in oil and gas donations, and the other 4 got more than $300,000 from the energy and natural resources industry. This flies in the face.
See? You think Democrats give a fuck about climate change? No, they fucking don't. They cause most of these 8 motherfucking Democrats gonna be dead before, as they say, shit hits the fan as it is. But they just want to live their life in leisure, while the younger generation fucking suffer and die. Die of climate change. Well, they be peacefully dead. No, they won't be peacefully. They be peacefully in hell. But you know what I'm saying.
Of a Democratic Party that is very publicly outspoken that climate change is an existential threat. But those examples are all very direct, somewhat out in the open campaign donations. If receiving money from lobbying groups while in government doesn't sound like enough of an incentive, there's always the reassurance of the revolving door. See, being despised by your party might make your seat a little less stable, might make your party more reluctant to select you for candidacy for your state, and might generally attract a lot of hate you might not want to endure for decades. For those who don't like being public targets, there's always the option of bowing out and getting just a regular lobbying gig where the connections you made in Congress are incredibly valuable. And sure enough, roughly 60% of retired lawmakers land in jobs where they end up influencing federal policy for significant salaries, at least in the exiting class of 2019. That's the case for Joe Donnelly, a conservative Democrat named as a partner in 2019, his centrist friend Doug Jones, and your favorite, Joe Lieberman, who left office back in 2013.
Hey, you remember Doug Jones, Alabama? Yeah, I remember that motherfucker.
This possibility to cash out by staying cozy with corporate lobbyists matters.
And one thing crazy about these politicians, once they retire, they get a cozy ass lobbying job. I think Christian Cinema a lobbyist now, ain't she? I guess. Oh boy.
To conservative Democrats. How do we know that? Because none other than Joe Manchin told us so back in 2021, when he opposed the For the People Act that would have slowed down this revolving door and made it harder for congresspeople to become federal influences. Manchin wrote his own version of the bill that cut that specific ethics provision and would set up him and his centrist buddies for the foreseeable future. But let's get back to Lieberman for a second, because the especially egregious cases of this lobbying influence are probably best represented by his group, No Labels. No Labels is a non-profit/political party started in 2010 with the purpose of bringing together centrists and moderates in the US to grab seats.
This the one that Joe Manchin was supposed to run for president. This quote-unquote party, No Labels, yeah.
From progressives. Their rhetoric is predictably uninspired, and mostly characterized by calling themselves representatives of the common sense majority, while throwing everybody who doesn't work with them under the extreme header, in a country with 2 nearly identical parties. Anyway, No Labels doesn't publicly reveal who its donors are. As a nonprofit, that's technically allowed, if a little weird. But the problem for them is that hasn't stopped journalists from figuring this stuff out. And as you probably expect, well, it's a lot of classic Republican donors who would not be disappointed at all with having a few spoilers in the ranks of those who caucus with Democrats. Louis Bacon, a regular GOP donor, gave No Labels about $1 million to elect more centrists, for example. James Murdoch, former chief executive of 21st Century Fox, the parent company of Fox News, put in at least $500,000. Nelson Peltz, a big Trump donor, put nearly $900K into the No Labels Super PAC. I think you get the idea. According to Open Secrets, No Labels has something like 8.
So basically, No Labels is just a full, I guess, centrist Republicans. Yeah, of course, right? Yeah. Pretty sure some centrist dummies donate too.
Super PACs playing with several $1 million. And frankly, those 3 names barely scratch the surface. There's a lot of demand for people willing to act as spoilers to aid the Republicans, and centrists have a lot to gain from playing that role. But if you're like me, this explanation doesn't feel complete. It's not that lobbying doesn't matter. You can always find deep wells of corporate money going to these centrists and flipping their votes, but it's just not the full picture. It doesn't explain what's in it for the Democratic Party, who, by all accounts, not only let this happen, but actively play a role in keeping it going. So why doesn't just pointing to lobbying feel like enough? For starters, conservative Democrats don't always get the most campaign donations, from corporations or in general. If the only explanation I gave you for why are they like this was money, that little piece of evidence would pretty much crush my whole argument. There's other ways to make money than to be a self-interested fence-sitter, and plenty of Democrats get just as healthy a check from being regular partisans. Oftentimes, though, you'll hear that the explanation for rotating villains has something to do with the villain of the week's constituents. If some Democrats are more conservative, the conventional narrative is that they're probably just a better representative of a more conservative district or state. But that's not what the voting records show. Take a look at Glusenkamp Perez from Washington. She's part of a group of conservative Democrats called the Blue Dog Coalition, and beyond how lame calling yourself a
the Blue Dogs. Oh. Blue Dogs. A few more minutes and I'm gonna change this, guys.
Blue Dog is, you might remember her from her time in the villain seat as a vocal opponent of student loan forgiveness. Quote, she was one of just 2 Democrats to vote for a proposal that would have thrown out the entirety of President Joe Biden's student debt relief plan, and would have also retroactively reinstated interest payments and reinstated some already forgiven loans. Since joining Congress in January 2023, she's voted with Republicans more than most of her Democratic colleagues, according to Slate. And especially surprising for a Democrat, that included voting for a Republican NDA.
Capping into here, guys. Yeah, see? That's rotating villain effect. She's from Washington, but again, like, I'm just saying, like, this is the goal, man. They want a Republican dummy, basically. Yeah, guys. So if you want to watch the rest of that, I say check it out, man. It's why the Democrats never get anything done by second thought. Yeah, check him out on YouTube, man. He does great work. I'm not gonna play his whole video out of respect, so watch it yourself and comment and tell him the ATP network sent you. What's up, guys? I'm back. Here's Joe Biden's over office address. He dropped out. He dropped out of the race and endorsed Kamala Harris. Yes, Kamala Harris. So, it was 3 days ago. I meant to cover this live, but man, I'm just mentally fatigued at the moment. But I'm here now, so that's good, right? So I'm gonna play it and pause it and rip Biden into an asshole. Here we go. Here we go, guys. I don't know what the fuck that was. My internet shit today. What's up the hell? Hello, my internet, man. Hell. Okay, guys, here we go. Why you froze like that? Look. Oh, dear God. This is... Wow. This is my first time watching this shit.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you tonight from behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office. In this sacred space, I'm surrounded by portraits of extraordinary American presidents. Thomas Jefferson wrote the immortal words that guide this nation. George Washington, who showed us presidents are not kings. Abraham Lincoln, who implored us to reject malice. Franklin Roosevelt, who inspired us to reject fear.
Wow, we're getting a history lesson. Wow, getting a lesson for goop head. Nice.
I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think it's more important than any title. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task of perfecting our union is not about me. It's about you, your families.
It's about you, your families. Joe Watches, our presidents can't be kings. Can't be kings. That's malarkey. Oh, I just hate this dude, man.
Your futures. It's about we, the people. And we can never forget that. And I never have.
No, let's change the Constitution from we the people to we the donors that tell you motherfuckers what to do and how to act and what bills to pass, and yeah.
I've made it clear that I believe America is at an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now will determine our fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. America's going to have to choose between moving forward or backward, between hope and hate, between unity and division. We have to decide, do we still believe in honesty, decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy? In this moment, we can see those we disagree with not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. Can we do that?
As fellow Americans. Uh-oh.
Does character in public life still matter? I believe I know the answer to these questions because I know you, the American people. And I know this. We are a great nation because we are good people.
We are a great nation because we are good people. Yeah. Let me continue this, man. I don't want to bore y'all with my rhetoric.
When you elected me to this office, I promised to always level with you, to tell you the truth. And the truth, the sacred cause of this country, is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause cherish it so much. A cause of American democracy itself. We must unite to protect it. You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy.
Dude, did you say that you were gonna be a one-term president? Like, then, because you knew yourself, your brain was turned to super goop. You knew it. Now because you just a arrogant ass. Never mind.
Democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation.
A new generation of sellouts, coons, sambos, and donut huggers, nut huggers that hug the donuts.
You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now. Over the next 6 months, I'll be focused on doing my job as president. That means I'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families, grow our economy.
Lower costs. Grocery store prices are still high.
I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, from the right to vote to the right to choose. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism. Make it clear there is no place in America for political violence, or any violence ever, period. I'm going to keep speaking out to protect our kids from gun violence, our planet from climate crisis that is the existential threat. And I will keep fighting my...
I like this asshole has a fucking audacity to say climate change is an existential. I can't fucking talk. It's an existential threat. Excuse me, guys. I'm retarded. But have the Willow Project and drilling and passed and signed off on drilling permits. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
For my cancer moonshot, so we can end cancer as we know it, because we can do it. And I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform.
Big Pharma don't want to end cancer. They could have ended cancer a long time ago. They want to keep coming up with these drugs to charge people tens of thousands of dollars.
Because this is critical to our democracy, Supreme Court reform. You know, I will keep working to ensure America remains strong and secure and the leader of the free world. I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine and doing more damage.
That man look high in a motherfucker. God damn. I know y'all see my little clip on Twitter. For some of you that follow me on Twitter. God damn. What the hell they gave him? They must have gave him the wrong shit. They gave him THC over Adderall or something, I guess.
We'll keep NATO stronger, and I'll make it more powerful and more united than any time in all of our history. I'll keep doing the same for our allies in the Pacific. You know, when I came to office, the conventional wisdom was that China would inevitably surpass the United States. That's not the case anymore. And I'm going to keep working to end the war in Gaza, bring home all the hostages, and bring peace and security to the Middle East and end this war. We're also working around the clock to bring home Americans being unjustly detained all around the world. You know, we've come so far since my inauguration. On that day, I told you, as I stood in that winter, we stood in a winter of peril and a winter.
We stood in a winter, peril, oh God. This guy can't even do this right. Good God Almighty.
There are possibilities, peril and possibilities. We're in the grip of we were in the grip of the worst pandemic in the century. The worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. But we came together as Americans, and we got through it. We emerged stronger, more prosperous, and more secure. Today we have the strongest economy in the world, creating nearly 16 million new jobs, a record. Wages are up. Inflation continues to come down. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years. We're literally rebuilding our entire nation, urban, suburban, rural, and tribal communities. Manufacturing has come back to America. We're leading the world again in chips and science and innovation. We finally beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost.
Yeah, beat Big Pharma by lowering 3 prescription drugs over a few years. Yeah. The same guy that said he lowered insulin to $35 for seniors. Well, motherfucker, what about for the little kids and the adults, middle-aged young adults? You dumb fuck. Democrats be like, we gave 2 crumbs to half of the kids, and the rest of the kids didn't get no crumbs, and they brag about it. Like, what the mother?
Cost of prescription drugs for seniors. And I'm going to keep fighting to make sure we lower the cost for everyone, not just seniors. More people have health care today in America than ever before. And I signed one of the most significant laws helping millions of veterans and their families who are exposed to toxic materials. You know, most significant climate law ever in the history of the world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years. And today, the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office. I've kept my commitment to appoint the first black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also kept my commitment to have an administration that looks like America.
Yay, identity politics. Yay, that makes all black people have warms their heart. Jesus.
And be a president for all Americans. That's what I've done. I ran for president 4 years ago because I believed and still do that the soul of America was at stake. The very nature of who we are was at stake. And that's still the case. America's an idea stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant. It's the most powerful idea in the history of the world. That idea is that we hold these truths to be self-evident. We're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights.
You don't want your kid growing up in a racial jungle, old fuck. In your eyes, we're not equal. Racial jungle, like. So what you like? The context of racial jungle to me is like saying that we're a wild species or some shit. But yeah, okay.
Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We've never fully lived up to it, to this sacred idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I do not believe the American people will walk away from it now. In just a few months, the American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I've made my views known. I would like to thank our great Vice President Kamala Harris. She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable.
She's weak, pathetic, and a coon. She's opposite.
An incredible partner to me and a leader for our country. Now the choice is up to you, the American people. When you make that choice, remember the words of Benjamin Franklin that's hanging on my wall here in the Oval Office, alongside the busts of Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez. When Ben Franklin was asked, as he emerged from the convention,
I knew you were gonna slip up after 10 minutes. I love it. I love it. I love it. You getting this karma, man. This is karma. It's pure comedy. Cause I feel like shit. I like when this motherfucker suffer. Suffer with me, bitch.
going on. Whether the founders have given America a monarchy or republic, Franklin's response was a republic, if you can keep it. A republic, if you can keep it. Whether we keep our republic is now in your hands. My fellow Americans, it's been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on earth could a kid with a stutter, from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claymont, Delaware, one day sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. But here I am. That's what's so special about America. We're a nation of promise and possibilities, of dreamers and doers, of ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things. I've given my heart and my soul to our nation, like so many others. I've been blessed a million times in return with the love and support of the American people. I hope you have some idea how grateful I am to all of you. The great thing about America is here, kings and dictators do not rule, the people do. History is in your hands.
Why are you whispering? The people do. The people do. What the fuck?
The power is in your hands. The idea of America lies in your hands. We just have to keep faith, keep the faith, and remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's simply nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. So let's act together, preserve our democracy. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you.
Oh, God. So, yeah. Hey, y'all. The worst 13 minutes of my life right there. My thoughts, man. Well, the fucker is it's Joe over. I don't know why that trigger people. Trigger my cousin in Florida. It's Joe over. And Kamala Harris is getting blown out by Trump. So that's all I gotta say about that. So lastly, closing arguments, man. You know, man, sometimes it's good to keep your friend circle very, very small. Like, it's better for your mental health. Um, to all the people in the world, man, people. To all the people that watching this right now, man, just listen to Andre, man. I know I've been acting a fool on Twitter from time to time. I mean, it's not because I want to be funny. It's just sometimes it's the way I vent. My pro-black tweets are not coming, so yeah. I mean, if some of you guys don't like it, man, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I can't hold back no more. And and I hate when people call black people racist. Like, how can a black person be racist? Okay, I can say black people can be ignorant, but not racist. So yeah, y'all. That's the end of this episode of Andre the Man Show. It went pretty well. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the ATP Network on YouTube and Rumble, and on Twitter. You'll get this version too. Be sure to retweet and like, because Elon Musk is suppressing my account while everybody else's Twitter accounts looking good. Mine is still in the sinker. So yeah, only because I do this. Oh yeah, Elon's a Zionist, so yeah, of course he gonna suppress me. Like, what did I expect? Nobody else does it but me. But my tip is too, guys. If you have a growing Twitter account, don't say fuck Israel. Well, you can probably say fuck Israel every now and then, but don't do this, because your account will be suppressed and in shadow ban. And also too, before I go, I had 9,230 some followers. Now I'm down to 202. Thank you, Elon. Yeah, you really fucking with me, Elon. I appreciate that. You fucking with me. And I'm paying you $16 for Twitter Premium to post these long videos and shit. Man, fuck you, Elon. And to everybody, have a good day. Drink plenty of water. Smoke your blunt. Got alcohol, drink a little bit of alcohol. Go for a run. Jog. And tell toxic people to fuck off. So again, everybody, thank you for watching Andre the Man Show. I'm Andre. Peace.